morning after it was closed for hours due to a brush fire. That fire happened yesterday between Hartford Turnpike and Upper State Street. It is now contained, but with these dry and windy conditions, you just heard Bob speaking about, firefighters are not taking any chances, of course. According to the North Haven Deputy Fire Chief, the fire consumed about 3 acres near an entire row of homes.
Then I walked out and I saw across the street from me, just on fire.
Well, Connecticut remains under a red flag warning and a stage 2 drought. Fire officials are urging extreme caution with any open flame or spark as extreme fire conditions persist. One neighbor even offering her own warning.
About that, people don't flick the cigarettes out the window. People don't flick the cigarettes out the window in the car.
Well, the crews say they will stay in the area throughout the morning to monitor the conditions and make sure it does not rekindle. All right, meantime in Hartford, 38 people are without a home this morning after a fire at their apartment complex. It broke out yesterday on Buckingham Street. Firefighters were able to quickly put it out and transport the residents to a temporary shelter. The Red Cross is now helping them as repairs are being made to the building. No word yet as to how that fire began. All right, and new this morning, West Haven police say they've made multiple arrests after a fight broke out during the Notre Dame High School versus Hillhouse football game at Veterans Field. Officers say the fight got so big they had to call in help from nearby police departments and state police. We're told several officers did get hurt trying to break up the scuffles. Well, the former girls basketball coach will spend the next 4 years in prison after being convicted of sexually assaulting a player. A judge handed down that sentence to Danny Lawhorn on Thursday. It is a 10-year term that will be suspended after 4 years. He was arrested in 2021 after a player for the Amateur Athletic Union basketball program, also known as AAU, accused him of sexual assault. All right, switching gears now. This morning, the first non-stop Avelo Airlines flight will take off from Bradley headed to Montego Bay, Jamaica. And to celebrate, leaders got together last night at the West Indian Social Club of Hartford. People moved from Jamaica to Connecticut and say that this is a huge step forward for them and, of course, for their families.
I wanted to be a part of this historical moment, and I think it's a great opportunity for not just for the Jamaican population, but for everyone who wants to visit Montego Bay, Jamaica.
And Connecticut has one of the largest Jamaican populations in the country. According to the West Indian Foundation, there are more than 70,000 people with ties to the country living in the greater Hartford area. Today's inaugural flight takes off from Windsor Locks at 6:20 in the morning. Well, happening today as well, hundreds of people will be putting care packages together for men and women stationed overseas. It's all part of this wonderful program called Boxes to Boots, Operation Cares 2024. NBC and Telemundo Connecticut, as well as Comcast, are proud to partner with this initiative for the 3rd year in a row. NBC Connecticut's Jolie Sherman joins us live here in the studio with more on this heartfelt tradition today, and we're really going to grasp at the children's heart when they get these boxes.
It really will, Toy. Boxes to Boots is all about sending love and holiday cheer to our troops who can't be home for the holidays. So every November, veterans, families, and kids volunteer their time to create care packages filled with donated items such as snacks, toiletries, and other everyday goodies. Plus, a handwritten note from the person putting that care package together. These items are gift wrapped and shipped just in time for Christmas. These packages are sent all over the world to places like Kuwait, Japan, and Poland. This year, almost 1,600 boxes will be sent to our soldiers.
They don't have access to a lot of things, so it's going to just warm their hearts and make them feel like a little part of home is with them.
It's such a fun thing for me just to wrap all the gifts with my family.
The event starts at 9 this morning at New Britain High School, and they're always looking for volunteers. So you can head to our website to find out more about that. And also keep in mind, several of us from NBC Connecticut will be there helping out. That includes anchor Kevin Nathan, who's the MC. Toy?
All right, going to be a wonderful time. Thank you very much, Jolie. Well, coming up, disturbing new details in a case that's captured the country's attention. The trial for the man accused of killing Laken Riley began yesterday. What all unfolded? Plus, panic in the air. A look at severe turbulence from one flight headed to Miami, caught on camera.
No payments and no interest for 2 years. Take shelter!
Step inside the forest of illusions, only at the Connecticut Science Center. Look inside a human-sized kaleidoscope. Explore the cave where the rocks glow. Play with color and light. Then experience a true black hallway at the Connecticut Science Center for limited time only.
Head and Shoulders Bare. Clinically proven dental protection with just 9 essential ingredients. No sulfates, no silicones, no dyes. Dental protection, minimal ingredients. Job done.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS. Rolaids dual-active formula begins to neutralize acid on contact. Rolaid spells relief.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans. Compare drug coverage. Compare costs. See if you can save. And make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Compare plans now at Medicare.gov.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Your memory is an amazing thing, but sometimes it can start to slow down. But did you know Prevagen can help keep your memory sharp? The secret is the powerful ingredient apoaquarin, originally discovered in jellyfish and found only in Prevagen. In a clinical study, Prevagen was shown to improve memory in subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired. Stay sharp and improve your memory with Prevagen. Prevagen, in stores everywhere without a prescription.
Seriously injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Trantolo and Trantolo today.
Stories that matter to you.
Join us weeknights for NBC Connecticut News at 11.
Now, your NBC Connecticut Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Bob Maxson.
And good morning, everybody. If you head outside, you're going to be seeing the sinking moon. You know, it sets at, I think I said 7:40, so it's got a couple hours to go, but it sinks fast, and as it gets closer to the horizon, you'll notice it looks a whole lot bigger. Well, it's the same moon. It's just the moon's rays have to come through more of our atmosphere, so it changes color, gets a little orangey, and it gets bigger because of the atmosphere. So here we are sitting at this lane 1.3 inches of rain since September 1st. It's incredibly dry. We're going to change this as we go forward. And coming up, I'm going to take a careful look at a potential rainstorm. But for today, no matter what you're doing, you heard that woman. Don't flick your cigarettes outside the car. I also saw someone out in Goshen yesterday pulling over to take pictures. When you take your car and you put it over grass, dry grass, you're eventually starting a brush fire. So don't pull over unless you have to, because your catalytic converter can be quite hot. So there's lots of ways we can be smart about avoiding such things as brush fires. 30s and 40s, it's chilly, it's November, it's supposed to be chilly. It's supposed to be a whole lot colder than this, actually. Noon is at 40 this morning, 41 at Stony Creek. So if you're a fall golfer, no frost delays this morning. We'll talk more weather in a minute.
All right, good information, good advice. Thank you, Bob. Well, coming up, a big match in the boxing world. Who walked away the winner of one of the most impressive
I fell asleep.
in sports history? Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
If you have to ask why it's important to start your day early, here's your answer.
Get any size iced coffee in any flavor for just $1.29 during breakfast hours.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like
Good morning, gorgeous goddesses.
colors that appear dull or washed out, or trouble with low light that makes driving at night a real challenge.
The most beautiful man in the universe is here.
Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
I'm Katie from Long Pads. We do bath and shower replacement the right way, the long way.
No payments and no interest for 2 years.
Today we are going to go show off at my other gym.
Sometimes I can't help through the burning and stabbing pain in my hands. So I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
Want to know a secret? More than just my armpit stink. That's why I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant everywhere.
4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend whole body deodorant, which gives you 72-hour odor protection from your pits to your Secret Whole Body Deodorant. This holiday season, give the gift of Bridgewater Chocolate, New England's premier confection and chocolate maker. Perfect.
We're going to be going to Big Sky today.
And planets. Visit us in Brookfield, West Hartford, Westport, and Boston. Bridgewater Chocolate. Make an impression.
Good morning, good morning.
For too long, they worried about the cost and hassle of replacing their windows.
But they heard about Window Nation's high quality and legendary affordability. They were ready to team up with the pros. See how much you could save with a free estimate today.
This is your reminder to thank the fact.
No gay guys in my room, please. We don't need gay guys in here. We just need lovely goddesses. That's it. So if you're trans and you're gay, get the fuck out of here. God doesn't love you. Because you don't love yourself.
He is facing murder charges in the killing of nursing student Laken Riley. Police say she was
Only hot goddesses in here.
campus back in February.
Remember,
Yesterday, prosecutors
Earth is
revealed
hell.
chilling details
And you
about
gotta
how
make it
Ibarra,
if you wanna
we want to warn you, it may
if you
be
wanna
unclear.
be the best, you gotta make it.
On the University of Davis campus. And when Laken Riley refused to be his rape victim,
You gotta make it like me.
her skull
I don't work anymore. Retired at 45 motherfucking years old. Let's go.
On her phone. However, Ibarra's defense attorney says the evidence against him is circumstantial. Meantime,
Real life is when you get to do whatever you the fuck want you want.
Ibarra is an undocumented migrant from Venezuela. He is facing multiple charges. Well, country singer
I'm gonna show you how to live life.
after being hit by a stray bullet in Texas. According to his agent, it happened yesterday while
Like me.
head was hit in the
Like
stomach
me.
and had to
She a
be
motherfucking
paramedics
dog,
hospital.
Jay.
He was scheduled to be taken in for a knee surgery upon landing. The doctors determined he did not need it. His agent says the bullet likely came from a nearby hunter. Sundance was crowned the season 11 winner of The Voice back in 2016.
Only hot women in this chat. If you're gay, get the fuck out. We don't need no gay bitch ass gay men. Oh my god. I missed the fight because I needed my beauty sleep. Good morning, good morning. Winter time is coming. This is where I shine. Because everybody else is fucking bulking up. But me, I don't need to bulk up anymore. I already did my bulking. Now I started my cutting phase. You're gonna see some crazy cuts in me now. Like you haven't seen yet.
There is at 33 degrees. That's the coldest temperature that I can find right now. It's 43 in Waterbury. Just a breeze with a gust of 18. And you're saying, oh, that's not bad. Well, wait, I say this.
I'm gonna make the internet so fucking jealous. You have no fucking idea. The internet is gonna be so fucking jealous. The internet's gonna wanna be me. Even though the internet is me.
And we get wind to go. So wind will gust. 25 to 30 miles per hour. So yes, the red flag wind continues for today and likely tomorrow too, because tomorrow will be breezy. Now these aren't 50, 60, 80 mile an hour winds like they get in California. But 25 to 30 will spread a brush fire quickly. So we have to be on we have to have our attention peaked here. Of course, ridiculously dry. So this is something we haven't had much of. This is an area of low pressure. It looks like, and I am crossing my fingers that this can happen, that as this thing tracks toward the Great Lakes, it is going to gather moisture from the south as we start to go into a pattern change. And this brings a band of rain through here. Oh, I know, your eyes are looking at this. Yes, it is that time of year when it can snow. So the forecast for how much rain? How about a half an inch to an inch? That's better. New run just came in. So of course it's a little bit lower than it was in the overnight run. But still, several tenths of an inch. I see a signal over an inch out in Syracuse. Let's bring that rain here. In the short term, it's nothing but sunshine, blue skies.
Good morning, gorgeous goddesses.
And a northwesterly wind. Tonight's fair will increase the clouds tomorrow, and there's a tiny chance of a sprinkle racing by during the day on Monday. Tiny being the key phrase. So the next 4 or 5 are pretty dry, maybe a sprinkle Monday with those clouds around. A chance of rain Wednesday night into Thursday, and some scattered showers of rain and some cooler temperatures as we head through the week. But for now, it's on the mild side. Joy?
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Well, coming up in this week's Connecticut in Color, how one woman from Meriden launched her own hair care line to help people with hair loss.
Tuesday night at 6, an NBC Connecticut Investigates exclusive. Consumer advocates say it's extravagantly wasteful, but the electric company says it's absolutely necessary.
The equipment is here in New Hampshire, but Connecticut customers are paying for part of it.
It's gotten very expensive for us.
The local consumer advocates are pushing to flip the switch and save you money.
The fact that these costs are increasing has been one of the reasons we've all decided to raise red flags.
Tuesday night at 6 on NBC Connecticut.
I'm Katie from Long Roofing. We do roof replacements. Right now, get 50% off materials plus no payments and no interest for 2 years.
One, remember, I don't want surgery for my impotent contraction.
2, I want to be able to lay my hand flat.
3, I want a non-surgical recovery.
4, non-options. Non-surgical options.
And 5,
And if non-surgical treatment is not
I'll give a second opinion. Let's go.
Take charge of your treatment. If you can't lay your hand flat, visit findhandspecialist.com to get started.
Using these type of cleansers can be damaging and stripping your skin. I use new Olay cleansing milk every day. Just soak, activate, and wash to clean, tone, and refresh. That's a 3 times better clean. Olay.
So start again.
So congested.
We need Sinex saline. What are those?
Just Sinex? Breathe.
What is wow?
Sinex? Breathe.
Hi, I'm renovation expert Scott McGilvery. I know baths are modeling, and I've seen all the gimmicks. Buy now, half off, free installation. This is why I work with Bathfitter. With 40 years of experience and 2 million installs, I trust their integrity. Backfit gives you a fair price and sticks to it with a lifetime warranty.
You piece of
You don't
shit.
need gimmicks. Just a partner you can trust. Backfit.
Not you.
Go to
The
backfit.com
fucking
to book your free
internet.
consultation.
It's so annoying. Sometimes it fucking works. Sometimes it doesn't work.
NBC Connecticut News at 7 every weeknight and streaming live on these platforms.
It's okay.
Welcome
We
back
got
to
our
the
other
American
tunes.
woman is launching her own hair care line. The product was first made in her mom's kitchen in the Dominican Republic to help people with hair loss. NBC Connecticut's Mercedes Laverde has more.
Murabi is a business rooted in family. Meet the women behind the products, Ivani Soda and her mom, Milagros Gonzalez. She also I'm very proud of you. Just driving
Good morning, gorgeous goddesses. I am Lord Vishnu, supreme in the flesh. Every man wants to be me, but they cannot be as mighty as myself. But they try to be. So this is what we're gonna do today at the gym, because I already know how this is gonna go. I took animal cuts, but I'm already so low in body fat that I don't want to push too hard today. I'm just going to kind of go slow and show off, but it's still going to give me the same results.
Launching Milagro now, it's a way to honor her effort and honor her passion as a mother and as a strong woman that, wants the best for her family.
All right, coming up, as drought conditions continue, why officials are now stressing the importance of reserving your water.
By the time this country is finished drinking his acid, you'll be 15 seconds closer to game time. Patriots logic, better, absolutely.
I'm Katie from Long Roofing. We do roof replacement the right way, the long way. Right now, get 50% off materials plus no payments and no interest for 2 years.
The goddess wants to talk.
For 30 people, 3 meals a day. I can't stop when I have dry hands. I trust their peace.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keefe's for healthy feet.
Holiday meals become so easy to cut, cook, and clean. You can feel like the chef in your kitchen. Make it easy. Make it with Reds. Wraps.
10 across one. And a lot of them now over Marbury, but it's striking how windy it can get this weekend and what it means for the already dry conditions. Plus, making sure our troops feel safe and feel the holiday spirit rather overseas. Our volunteers will work to put car packages together for them today. Well, good morning and thank you for waking up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Joy Thornton, 6 o'clock on the dot now. We're checking in with you around 5 nights in for a look at how the weather here, of course. And as we said, dry.
Yeah, the dry weather continues. In a normal summer, you're camping, you're trying to get a campfire going. Right. What's the first thing you do? Blow on it. Okay. It adds oxygen. It spreads the fire from whatever. Yep. Whatever you use to get the fire going. So when Mother Nature does that, that's why these fires can spread. Let's see what's happening. Good morning, everyone. It's the full super beaver moon up over the western sky right now. Just spectacular out there. It was like almost daytime bright out there in the middle of the night because of the super bright moon. And it's very nice to look at, and it's going to be simply in the western sky. Breezy. There's a tiny breeze blowing around, and the hills felt a little bit more. We're all going to feel it though. The winds are gust between 25 and 30 miles per hour. We don't need that. Yes, it's going to be up to 30 miles. Strangely so. 60 to 65 is 10 to 15 degrees above where we should be. We should be in sweaters and jackets and cold. Instead, we can be out there in a light sweatshirt. Yeah, strange. Red flag warning. Oh, I can't wait till it rains so we can stop talking about this. Usually we have better dynamic weather to talk about. Instead, it's been pretty boring. Coastal flood advisory. High tide this morning.
Coastal flooding.
Because of that, full moons have a big impact on the tides. There could be some coastal flooding in front of it. Just keep in mind if you were to
Good morning.
nothing major, but it could certainly get some water. 30s and 40s out there this morning. It's cool but not cold.
Catherine, I love you.
Warm. So we're going to go in search of.
Thank you for hanging out in my studio.
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, this morning,
Independent Dream Studio.
Went to a stabbing at a bus station in Hartford. Police say it happened on Franklin Avenue last night. You can see they blocked off the road during the investigation there. Authorities, of course, telling us, sadly, that a person is hurt, but is expected to be okay. All right, well, watch out for wrong-way drivers. That is a message from the Department of Transportation after a dangerous situation in Harlington. You're looking at dash camera now on the video there from a state trooper who put their cruiser between a wrong-way driver and oncoming traffic on Route 8 Thursday night. It caused an 85-year-old driver to crash into the cruiser, and luckily no one was hurt.
Oh my God.
Areas DOT is trying to prevent by installing wrong-way detection systems across the state. Right now, there aren't any on that stretch of Route 8, but they are looking to add some there.
Old people need to stop fucking driving backwards. The wrong side of the road.
That it is stopping vehicles, it is making them turn around, and it's stopping them from entering the highway in the wrong direction. We know that if a vehicle is traveling on the highway in the wrong direction and there's a collision, that crash is likely to be fatal head
Should we do a little multitasking?
Turkey at your local Popeyes.
Ever since we became friends, you've always inspired me from the outside. Even in icy cold water. So I got this puffer blanket just for you. Because everything about me today.
Severe eczema, and we can show off clear skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell the doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change your stop asthma medicines without talking to a doctor. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
A moment with Ernie Buck Jr. and his kids Alex and Kelsey.
Some tunes. Good morning.
Why are you paying for out-of-state electric company equipment? Tuesday night at 6. Divine Remedy, the Dayton Night Tuesday. Now, your NBC Connecticut Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Bob Maxson.
Some mornings are just a little bit busier than other mornings. This is one of those mornings. You're up early with us on a Saturday morning, 6:09. That is the full moon, getting ready to settle in the west. Just beautiful. As the sun comes up in the east. Okay, back to reality. Chance of rain today is 0. That real quiet in many places. Winds 15 to 25. Humidity low. Not quite desert low, but low enough. I think we're going to hear about brush fires again today. Again, 90% of them. And everybody's humans, so expect to be dry lightning, anything like that. So it's all about us. So let's get careful. Chilly temperatures for everybody watching, but not that cold this time of year. And no matter where you look, from Coldbrook to Plymouth, to Thompson and Canton and Howard, we got the 30, lower 40, 37 in Madison this morning, 42 in Salem, 43 in Wallingford, 44 in Shelton, 49 in Milford. This is Sarah. Sarah's not much of a tropical storm.
Sarah, the tropical storm, of course. Actually, fuck it. I'm using a tripod on this one, so I don't want to add any stabilization.
Trantolo, let our family help heal for it. Nobody sells more surgeries in Connecticut than Premier. With more than 800 new Subarus in stock from 2 convenient locations, there's a Premier Subaru near you. And for this month, lease a brand new 2025 Outback for just $289 a month. Or lease the all-new 2025 Forester for $309. Plus, get financing rates as low as 1.9%. Premier Subaru, lowest prices, highest trade value, free lifetime powertrain warranty, and the best values in
Looks crazy right there. This laptop, next year's model, I hope it's an OLED. This one doesn't have an OLED. I mean, it's still good, but imagine if it was an OLED. We're good. What should we call it? NVIDIA, baby.
That was NBC's Mitch Credits, and not to brother. Right now, more than 40 million people are under fire watches in the Northeast as those dry conditions continue to pose high risk for wildfires. Officials are now urging residents to conserve water.
Dude, I'm using this on battery life right now. And she's cranking. Dude, Apple needs to go fuck themselves with their new chips. Dude, you could not compete with this. I'm about to fucking make this video on battery life. The 25% left. I think we could do it.
So that doesn't help the well. So we need rain before it comes a glacier with a snowpack and we need rain. So we will find something.
Good morning, good morning. Just in case. Now she's gonna crank. It's gonna sound like a jet engine. Yeah, look. She's already fucking cranking. All these laptops that have RTX 4090s inside them with 24 core processors, they're all bottlenecked by their power cord, because that power cord is only rated at 300 watts. And this fucking laptop needs way more than that. I mean, dude, we make fucking 4090 gaming rigs with 1,300 watt power supplies. So go figure. Nice 60s today. Sunny. Look how yellow those leaves are. forgot. We gotta be going on YouTube here. Chief. Chief. He's live.
Home. It's comfortable. It's secure. The things you love and cherish in it. It's where you want to be when you need care, support.
What about the star when it's with you? 5,000?
Sick.
I bet it.
Dude, this music is a classic.
Oh, I didn't think I was going to stun out that fast. Oh, too fast. Man. Dude, yeah. Like, sweet Jesus Christ. I'm not going to hit 1,000 at all, 5,000 at all. I don't even know what gives me the most points.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I can't fucking see.
This guy or some shit. Bro. Okay, all of these are puzzles now. Damn it, I tried to do the interrupt. I think I locked out, yep. He died that day. Little Mac died that day.
Thank you, laptop. You are fucking amazing. Remember, always undo your power cable on your laptop to keep the battery on your laptop in perfect condition.
Piss off, boy. Keeping you at low health. Let's go. Let's go. Seconds in. Shit. Shit!
I will install the power cable in this area so I don't have to do this anymore. I can't stand it.
It's very bad for my health. Swear to God.
Good morning. Good morning, gorgeous. Ooh, I love when you call me daddy. Catherine the Great.
Dude, that sucks. That sucks. That shit sucked.
We got to upload this new Independent Dreams video.
Like this, when he just completely stops doing shit. So easy. It's like when he just stops and sits there and looks at you, and it's like, what the hell do we do now?
Well, I feel just like a child. From my womb to my tomb, I guess I'll always be a child.
We're looking at the best CPUs for 2024, following what are probably the last launches for the year. We've benchmarked most of the major CPUs out right now and have a huge lineup for you today. But there's a remaining sort of weird factor from last year. It's becoming a trend. Prior generation parts now sometimes remain still the best options in some of these categories. It's making things interesting because now it's like 3 generations of older stuff up against new stuff. And it wasn't always the case that 3 generations of prior parts existed new in box, but with AMD and Intel alike, there are actually good older parts available in some categories alongside the brand new stuff, like the 9800X3D. So today we're going over the best overall, the best gaming CPU, which is a very simple category. It's just, I mean, it's either at the top of the chart or it's not. The most balanced, looking at a number of factors, in addition to things like the most efficient and some of the other award categories we have, like budget and sub $100 CPUs. And this series is my favorite series to work on every year with the best of roundups. So let's get into it. We brought you this video with our brand new premium dice sets for tabletop gaming, like Dungeons and Dragons, Magic, and other games. These include our GN Inductor dice that use actual e-waste inductors, and our Snowflake dice with tiny snowflake cats embedded within the sharp edge resin dice on store.gamersnexus.net. Until November 21st, we're donating 10% of all dice sales to Cat
Oh my
Angel,
God,
a local,
there's so many
small,
kitties.
no-kill cat shelter that we've been supporting for years. Your purchases of dice will support us and them, and you'll get extremely unique, high-quality dice with custom wooden boxes and roll trays, cards usable in Magic the Gathering games, and 7 types of dice commonly found in tabletop games. The inductor dice use copper colored lettering with a blue tint resin and embedded e-waste inductors, while the Snowflake dice set includes not only the Snowflake miniatures embedded within, but also a Snowflake Heedless One card that my mom did the art for and I designed the stats for. The inductor dice come with a Goblin Creature token that Andrew on the team did the 3D art for. The custom wooden box uses 3 pieces to keep everything together, latches for transit, an etched GN Alchemy logo, and an integrated roll tray.
That is
Support
sick.
our work directly and help reduce our reliance on third-party advertisers by visiting store.gamersnexus.net. Welcome back to the Best of Roundup series. We do these every year at the end of the year for multiple different component categories. We have best cases coming up, and a couple of others too. We run these to just kind of get a quick recap of everything and help get people up to speed efficiently. We know that a lot of you only really check in on computer parts every couple of years or so when you build a new system. So this series should help you quickly identify what's available,
what's good, and then you can use it as a launching point to dig deeper from there and research the parts that interest you the most for your use case. As you find CPUs that are interested in this video, we'll link their original reviews below. There might be newer data available, there is in most cases, but that'll give you the sort of most in-depth version of what we have to offer for each of those CPUs. And then we'll also have the usual links to the retailers. They are typically affiliate links in the description below as well. As usual, these roundups don't go as charts heavy as our reviews. So if you want all the charts, you should check some of the reviews. We have like 40-minute ones out. These are meant to be more quick and simple and go over the key highlights with some charts to just reinforce the main points as we go. So there's a lot to get into today. We have a written version that'll go up on the website shortly if you want that recap. But for now, let's get into it. The first award category is for the best overall CPU for 2024. This one goes to the AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D CPU.
Well, I had a viewer reach out who was in the Chicago area who had actually purchased a pair of the Borison X3 loudspeakers and the the Access Forte 2, I believe, streaming amplifier while he was at Xpona. He actually bought the real speakers and the streaming amplifier that was at Xpona, and he took them home with him. He emailed me and said, would I be interested in testing them out? And I said, absolutely. So he then loaded them up into his car and drove them from Chicago down to my house in Alabama. So I have to give him a huge shout out. Everybody, please leave a comment for him saying thank you.
That was awesome.
Without him, this review would not be possible. Before I get too far into this review, we'll go ahead and get a couple things out of the way up front. These cost $11,000 per pair. They come in a gloss white or a gloss black. They stand at about 51 inches tall or 129 centimeters. They weigh about 55 kilograms or 121 pounds each.
Those tweeters
The
are
frequency response
crazy.
spec at 35 hertz to 50 kilohertz. Sensitivity spec at 88 decibels.
Carbon
at 1 watt,
fiber?
Impedance is spec at 4 ohm. Recommended amplifier power is 50 watts. They use a planar ribbon tweeter,
Nice.
a 4.5-inch bass/mid-range driver, and for their bass drivers, there are two 4.5-inch drivers. Off the bat, I gotta say, these speakers look really good. I really like the way they look. When I got them in my room, I set them up initially about 3 feet or 1 meter from the back of the speaker to the wall behind the speaker. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a quick example. I also set them up facing just on the outside of my shoulder, per the manufacturer's spec, which you can see here. Notice how they had the speakers aimed at the same side shoulder. So that's how I set them up in terms of toe in versus toe out. And when I was listening, I liked what I was hearing for the most part, but there were certain things about the sound that I didn't really like. I felt like the lower bass was just
Hey guys, Ivan here, and we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The first one is of Martin Fitzwater at 1 day out, rocking that mustache, trying to copy Chris Bumstead, I guess, but he's actually looking like a freaking serial killer, right? But don't worry, you can bring your kids to this show. He actually shaved it. He's not gonna look like this on the stage. And I'm also pretty sure Chris Bumstead is gonna rock the full beard, but we'll see about that. As far as Martin's look, as far as his conditioning right now, this is kind of what I was hoping to see Chris look like. I mean, this sort of look, like full, blasting full, but just dry enough, conditioned enough. And I gotta say, Stefan Kinsel knows how to pick his guys. He is not missing a single pick. Like Martin, I mean, a couple of days ago, he was looking kind of watery. He wasn't looking super full or dry. But right now, with 1 day out, he actually looks so much better, man. Like, so much drier and fuller. And the show is tomorrow, and I think he's gonna get even fuller and drier. So it's gonna be an amazing look. He's gonna be basically him at his best, and Martin at his best. It's gonna be very difficult to beat him with the fullness, the size, the completeness he has, with great conditioning too, and also with, you know, pretty classic looking shape, right? Like, he's also very aesthetic, small waist, nice lines, nice muscle insertions. He's going to be amazing on that stage for sure. He's going to have the height disadvantage, but is it going to prevent him from winning this show? I doubt it. I doubt it. But again, anything is possible. If Chris shows up at like 250, which is only like 8 pounds more than in classic physique, like I said in my previous video, I don't have him winning. I did change my mind, basically based on what I saw. Some of you guys were like, you can't change your mind. Of course I can. I just did. It all depends on what these guys look like. I can't just, you know, make a prediction, stick with it no matter what. I already spoke about this before. Like, what I see is what I want to say. And right now, it seems like Martin is looking the best. But you never know what kind of magic Han Rambo can pull in the last couple of days. Maybe Chris is going to get so much fuller, and he's going to look like maybe drier, more conditioned than Martin, and like with his height and structure. Anything is possible, really, but it's also possible that Chris is going to be like 4th or 5th. I mean, we'll see. I'm super excited to finally see that on stage, but take a look at this pose of Martin, like a classic pose. Looks phenomenal, looks very classic, and as far as his legs, that's his basically strongest point, I would say. They are looking incredible, honestly. Like, they're full, they are separated, you can see the feathers, you can see the conditioning, the fullness is coming up. I think he's going to be even fuller, like blasting full tomorrow, and probably a bit drier, but this is already looking really good. And like from behind also, he's shredded. He did not take this Prague prep lightly, even though he already basically, you know, placed 4th at the Mr. Olympia. He had a phenomenal year, basically his Mr. Olympia debut, but he still needs to qualify for the Olympia next year, because only top 3 now is qualified for the next year. Up until recently, it was the top 5, but now it's actually the top 3. So this is going to be a great opportunity for Martin to qualify and to have an entire year to really focus on growing, to have enough time to recover his body, to take care of his health, and then to grow more, improve more. And then next year, man, I can see this guy in the top 3 for sure. Top 3 or even top 2, honestly. So again, he is not taking this lightly. He is showing up at his absolute best. Who knows? Maybe he even comes better than the Mr. Olympia. That's also very possible. I mean, if that's the case, then it's gotta be lights out for everybody else, including Chris Bumstead. But we'll see. Maybe it's gonna be more interesting. Maybe Chris is actually gonna push Martin. If Chris places as high as 2nd, that's crazy still. But at this point, I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't see it. I think Martin is gonna win this one rather handily. Whatever you guys think, comment down below. Alright, the next thing we got is a new physique update from Horse MD. So let's check if he improved his conditioning from Romania to Prague Pro. I mean, I don't see any big changes. You know, he's still not in great conditioning. Like, you can see a film of water basically everywhere in his body, his midsection, his glutes. His chest is not very separated. This is not good enough conditioning. I mean, look at the glutes right here. Like, there is still fat there. But this is definitely not good enough to beat Chris Bumstead, in my opinion. You know, I think maybe he's going to be a bit bigger, but not that much bigger, really. I mean, he recently tried to do classic physique. He failed. He can't do that. Maybe he could if he lost a lot of muscle. But even if he was super ripped, super shredded, if he was in, let's say, Chris Bumstead conditioning, he would still be over the classic physique weight cap. So, no, he's not a classic bodybuilder, but he's not lean enough to be winning open shows. He needs to improve his conditioning, but is it going to happen this year? No, I don't see it. Maybe another prep, another year, put on more muscle and actually diet down completely and get shredded. If he does that, yeah, I can see him win a pro show, but that's not going to happen this year. I don't have him in my top 3 at Prague Pro. It's going to be probably Chris Bumstead. Sean Clarida and Martin Fitzwater. I don't know what Andre Pest is going to look like. Christian Wolski. Maybe those guys can push and beat Chris Bumstead. We'll see. But Horse MD, best case scenario, 6th place. All right, the next thing we got is somebody who we haven't really spoke about in a long time. Blessing Awodibu. He took a longer off season. And I feel like he made some pretty big improvements as far as the size. The size of his upper body. We can't see his legs. And we all know that was the only reason why he wasn't placing as high as he could have. The legs were not up to par to his upper body. And he had an injury, a couple of injuries, I think. Something is wrong with his knees, I think. So he can't really train his legs to the max. And here he's not showing, I mean, he's not even taking his clothes off. He's just only showing us his upper body mass. And it's looking ridiculous, honestly. Like, it's looking super, super massive. Are his legs following the growth of his upper body? I have no idea. Unless they are, then he's screwed. Then it's going to be even worse than before. Because his upper body right now is looking like one of the biggest upper bodies in open bodybuilding today, honestly. Like, this is looking insane here. Blessing Awodibu is a freak. He's a monster for sure, man, the boogeyman. But the legs, they need to catch up. And if his legs were better, I think he would be showing them instead of showing his upper body. But who knows? Maybe his legs are actually better as well. As far as the upper body, he's definitely bigger, so he grew. And like, can you really, if he's training his legs hard, can you really grow in certain body parts and not grow everywhere? I mean, he definitely looks like he's eating a lot, he's taking a lot, and if he's training the legs as hard as his upper body, yeah, I know he has injuries, he probably can't like squat super heavy, but I'm sure he can do like giant sets, stuff like that. That can also grow your legs. That can probably grow your legs the fastest. So if he's really focused on improving his legs, and if he's doing everything else aside from training to grow, then yeah, I'm sure his legs are bigger as well. But are they gonna match his upper body? I doubt it, honestly. Like, his upper body is looking super massive right now. He's gonna look awesome for the photos, for the IG, for YouTube, but on the stage he needs to be more complete than the last time you saw him on stage. So I don't know if he made those kind of improvements, but we'll see, I guess, once he decides to compete again. I don't know when it's gonna be, but maybe next year. I mean, I hope next year, because he had a long off season, a productive off season, obviously. Hopefully he's going to try and compete. Maybe the Arnold Classic, if they invite him, maybe some of the shows earlier in the season next year. We'll see, but yeah, it definitely looks like he put on some tissue. All right, and finally, we got a really freaking impressive physique update from Nick Walker, and it seems like he finally managed to fight off the haters. So as you can see, there are no more Nick Walker and similar hate comments. Even if you scroll down further, you won't see many hate comments, honestly. Now, I don't know if he's moderating, if he's deleting them. I don't think so. I don't think he ever did that. He's never replying to any comments, positive or negative. So I don't know if he's even reading the comments, but there are no hate comments at this point. Because, I'm guessing, because he actually looks insane in his recent updates. For example, this side chest. Man, like, this is looking ridiculous. It's looking insanely big, man. Like, I don't know who has a bigger side chest in the world right now. Maybe Samson Dauda. I don't know. Maybe. As far as like Hari and Derek, I wouldn't say so. Martin, no. This has to be the biggest side chest. He is probably the biggest bodybuilder of today, pound for pound at least. Like, they are taller guys, but you know, for his height, I don't think anybody's packing this much size. Now, just like with Blessing Awodibu, we still can't see Nick's legs right here. We saw them in a couple of different updates, but not here.
Good morning.
I think he is progressing in the leg department. I think that's his main focus. And I think his legs are going to get a bit better. Are they ever going to match his upper body? No, genetically it's impossible. Not just because he can't put enough size on them, but because of the muscle insertions. And also the length of his legs compared to his upper body. Like, his legs are a bit stubby, you know. His upper body is just genetically bigger. So he's always going to have a dominant upper body compared to the legs, but I mean, the side pose and the back pose, that's not the case. It's just the quads from the front. So he has overall leg size, but he doesn't have the best quads, the best quad shape. And the upper body, again, incredible, crazy. The size of his freaking arms and chest, and the way he's hitting it as well. He's showing crazy width, crazy density and thickness, and I think he's controlling his midsection very well here. Better than at the New York Pro, to be honest. So maybe his new coach has him doing something to make his gut smaller. Maybe it's just posing better. I don't know.
Good
but
morning.
Here,
Good morning.
we don't see the gut hanging out. It's actually tucked in, and it looks very nice. We know he's going to be competing next year, early next year, but not
New
in the
YouTube
Classic.
video is
I'm
coming
guessing
out
probably
today
Pittsburgh Pro,
at
New York Pro
1
again,
p.m.
maybe even Detroit Pro. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure when we see him on stage next time, it's going to be a new and improved Nick Walker. It's going to blow our minds. I'm pretty sure about that. Whatever you guys think, however, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this with bodybuilding, and of course the coverage of the Prague Pro tomorrow and the day after, guys, stay tuned, subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.
Sherry Rice and Sauce Gardner. Sauce and Rice. Kind of funny that two guys with food names ended up in the NFL.
Probably just a coincidence.
Oh, like we only made it to the pros because sauce and rice are a good way to sell.
Game food. Get deals on saucy wings, rice, and more. Only on Uber Eats.
Our new Xfinity gateways can support hundreds of devices. Up your internet game. Am I right? I'm over here.
Switch to fast, reliable Xfinity Internet and power all your devices, even when everyone's online. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff.
Takes a feature away. Linus takes away 3 channels, and the 9800X3D takes away its ability to work by exploding. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Friday, November 15th, 2024. We're going to start off today talking about Intel changing up a few things on their Arrow Lake CPUs, which is that they are getting rid of the DLVR bypass mode that's on Arrow Lake CPUs, which is because Intel is saying that it was accidentally being misused. Now, the DLVR allows the chip to regulate its power consumption by adjusting the voltage, making it so that it has lower power usage in various different situations. However, some motherboards allowed you to bypass that, thereby allowing you to get the full power out of your CPU in a lot of different scenarios. However, Intel is saying that that is an accidental misuse and that this is only meant to be bypassed in extreme overclocking scenarios such as with sub-ambient cooling, and so that is the only situation where they're going to allow it moving forward. This isn't the first time we've seen DLVR bypass, though. That was available on Raptor Lake with the previous 13th, 14th gen CPUs, and now it looks like they're taking away this situation with Arrow Lake. So just kind of frustrating a few people out there who were potentially using this. Maybe you didn't know about it. I mean, I think according to our audience comments, not many of you are picking up Arrow Lake CPUs in the first place, but this isn't necessarily
Gorgeous
something that's
sunrise.
on people's good sides with removing that feature. But you know what comes packed with a ton of features? Today's video sponsor. Everyone loves tech and everyone loves wearing things. So wearable tech is the best of both, right? You know who really knows about wearable tech? Rincon, the makers of the only smart ring to be crowdfunded through Kickstarter for over $4 million in 45 days, and the sponsor of today's video. When Rincon reached out about working together, we knew right away that Michael, our resident ring guy, was the perfect person to try this little guy out. And when I say little, I mean little, but in a good way. The Rincon Gen 2 is the world's thinnest and lightest smart ring, coming in at a minimum thickness of just 2 millimeters and weight of 2 to 3 grams. Compared to the previous gen, that's a 23% reduction in thickness. Now, unlike Michael's Apple Watch Ultra 1, this is the first smart ring to provide sleep apnea monitoring. Thankfully, Michael's in the clear here, but having a ring monitor your sleep and provide results with 90.7% accuracy is a big deal for people with sleeping disorders. All of your health metrics and sleep data can be conveniently found in the Rincon app, which you use to enable your ring when you get it out of the box. Another feature that smart rings have over other bits of wearable tech is the absolutely insane battery life. Charging to 100% on the ring Rincon Gen 2 offers 10 to 12 days of battery life with 150 plus days of use when paired with the portable charging case. You might also be thinking, this ring sounds great, but I don't want to have to take it off every time I wash my hands. And to that, I say, no problem. Rincon has made sure the Gen 2 is waterproof and dustproof, boasting IP68 protection, the highest dust and water resistant standard. This thing can even function at depths of up to 100 meters underwater, so if you dive or swim, your ring comes out ready to keep on trucking. And possibly best of all, every health tracking feature this ring has comes with no subscription. Not now or ever. Once you have your ring, your health data is yours to collect and keep. You can grab a Rincon Gen 2 smart ring for yourself today via the link in the description below. Right now, you can enjoy their special Black Friday sale and get a ring protector for free. Huge thanks to Rincon for sponsoring today's video. While Rincon is delivering its Gen 2, Windows is delivering its ARM ISO for Windows 11. You're now going to be able to download it and make it so that it's easier to install Windows 11 on ARM PCs. This is something that's coming alongside the new Snapdragon X Elite chips, as well as the rumored upcoming NVIDIA chip that's supposed to be based on ARM. It just makes it easier to get Windows 11 installed on these various different devices, but one of the things that could happen with this is getting Windows 11 installed on various different MacBooks, especially because Apple has said that they're not necessarily against installing new operating systems on their Apple Silicon. It's just that, from what they've said, the ball was in the court of Microsoft to get the support for that. So it's mostly just going to be drivers at this point for all of that to happen. But we've already seen Linux get installed on various different versions of Apple Silicon, so now that the Windows 11 ISO is out, it should make it slightly easier for that to happen. And potentially with all this ARM support that's happening, maybe in the far future, 3 to 5 years from now, we could potentially start seeing desktops with ARM setup, which could mean revolution in the Hackintosh market again. Maybe that could happen. Who knows?
I love
But
sunrise in the
revolution
wintertime.
going on in the laptop market, in case you haven't been paying attention. Both AMD and Intel have dropped new CPUs that are more efficient, but also more performant, and AMD wants you to know that theirs is better at gaming than Intel's. This is actually, it's kind of frustrating because we have a video going live this weekend where we kind of did this exact same test of Intel's Lunar Lake versus
I looked in the
AMD's
sun
new AI9
too
processors
long.
in terms of gaming, both the 365, the HX 370 versus a Lunar Lake laptop. We kind of came to the same conclusion. So if you could watch our video this weekend instead of just listening to this hot news section. But AMD obviously cherry picking results, also kind of talking about the best of the best, saying that their laptops are up to 75% faster than Intel's Lunar Lake gaming graphics that you have in both of these laptops, which we didn't test EA Sports F1 24, so we didn't see that high of performance, but we did find that AMD generally is better overall. However, there are plenty of good instances where you should still be using Lunar Lake. Battlemage is still actually quite good. Intel stepped up to the plate with this generation. We didn't see as big of deltas as what
Figure approaching the back of a
Slap
house.
Cam is live.
The photos come from a security camera on the property which takes pictures when a motion sensor is triggered. The images were sent to the Redditor by their mother-in-law without an explanation. The user's first reaction was to ask, "Why are you sending me an old blurry image of grandma?" The creepy thing is, their grandmother Nancy passed away in 2013. The security footage was captured this year. Compare the figure in the security picture with these photos of Nancy. There is certainly a strong resemblance. There are many other factors that suggest something odd is indeed happening here. The property is in a gated community and has a 6-foot-high fence, meaning it'd be very difficult for someone to enter the backyard. Also, the figure appears to be somewhat translucent, even though the rest of the background is quite clear. The original poster hopes that it is an apparition of her grandmother returning to make sure that everyone's okay. But many commenters are concerned that the figure is a human intruder, an idea that most deem even more frightening. So would you be more comfortable knowing this is a wandering spirit or a nosy neighbour?
So today,
Good morning.
At Mitchell Volkswagen, we make it easy to choose your next vehicle, and our experienced team is here to help you every step of the way. Whether you're in the market to buy or lease your next vehicle.
So today, I'm embarking on the biggest challenge that I've ever taken on. The Nürburgring is a near 22-kilometer circuit that winds its way through the Eiffel Mountains in Germany and is widely acknowledged as one of the most challenging race circuits in the world.
I'm setting out on the ludicrously ambitious journey of sharing what it really takes to set a sub-7-minute lap time of the full circuit, infamously known as the Green Hell.
But long before sharing the idea with anyone, I needed to make sure I wasn't totally crazy.
So I called Lars Kern, Porsche Pro driver, Nürburgring record setter, and all-round hero, just to touch on the idea.
Thank you for believing in the craziness of this, but I paused in the first moment. I was like, yeah. I wish we'd have filmed the first call. Because I was like, I don't know how to speak to you about this. Because I genuinely didn't know if I was insane or if the journey was worth the story, not just the end goal. And so when you spoke to me, you were like, no, you're not totally insane, just a little bit.
Sub-7 lap times are typically reserved for professional racing drivers, and I am not a professional racing driver. But the biggest challenge, outside of perhaps my very own skill set, I'm not going to be attempting this time in a full-fat race car with slicks. I'm going to be attempting this in a road-legal supercar.
Good morning.
But there's a lot of seat time, training, and advice required between now and then if I've got a cat in hell's chance of making this thing possible.
But there are only a few road-legal cars in the world capable of this time, and I ordered mine over 18 months ago.
Welcome back to the GT3.
So after taking delivery at Porsche Perth,
this is going to spend a disproportionate amount of time on track
and learning the incredibly advanced functionality of the latest GT3 RS.
Red there, blue there, red there, blue there. This is the compression for the front, this is the compression for the rear. Crikey, this is ridiculous. Okay, it's like having a race engineer on your steering wheel. When someone will say there's a car that's been fitted with adjustable coilovers, you would come in and manually adjust them with a spanner. Yeah. Whereas this, you can do it in real time on the track.
On the track from the steering wheel.
Yeah, which is crazy. Independent of compression, on this side, you've activated rebound. Rebound is how fast the suspension defaults back after it's compressed. But then there's another option. On lift-off throttle under rotation, you can balance that, neutralize it, or make it more front to rear bias of the lift-off axle vectoring. It'd be interesting to know how many, as a combination of all of the options available, how many variables there are.
Turns out there are over 6,500 possible combinations of compression, rebound, stability, traction, and DRS.
So I've got some bedtime reading to do.
The first port of call was to AR Exclusive to get this car protected. What this car's about to go through, it needs all the protection it can get.
It's amazing, dude. Absolutely awesome. We've spoken over the time. This is going to spend a lot of time on track. What sort of application do you guys do in order to sort of enhance the...
On the cutouts on your car, more so it gives it more protection. We've applied double on all the cutout areas.
Right.
So it's more likely to get hit.
Areas which are exposed here.
Yeah, all of them have been doubled.
Do you know, when you see them in reality, there's so much exposure. Yeah. That's going to be flicking gravel and rubber and all sorts of stuff out at a very high speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So effectively, anywhere there's cutout arches exposed to the tyres, you've put extra on it. Ejection area there, ejection area here. You can actually see it. That is going to be super helpful. So the idea with this is we're going for quite an ambitious project, mostly on the Nürburgring. So the car is spec'd in Porsche PTS Gulf Orange, arguably one of the most iconic colours in the world of motorsport. And while it's important to protect and preserve such a special paint, the journey I'm about to embark on is going to give this car a serious battering. Right, so if anyone's wondering what
Turbo Hybrid makes your whole team feel at home.
Risk it, anyone?
Even when you're away. The new Kia Carnival Turbo Hybrid with 33 mpg. Kia.
Good morning.
Come with me to the city where love never sleeps. Where every act of love is celebrated. A place for self-love. The beloved. The in-love. For timeless bonds. Meaningful beginnings. And new heights. Here, love has many facets, all of which are a gift. With love since 1837, Tiffany & Co.
Talking about ones, we conveniently happen to have here a very well-tracked GT2 RS. And all of these black dots here are rubber impact from track day use. Conveniently, it's just come back from a track day. We thought before it gets cleaned off, why don't we show you what we mean by high impact zones and why AR done a good job of applying in these areas the extra depth of PPF. GT2 RS doesn't have any of this here, where the face of the tyre is basically directly impacting the body, which, when I say that out loud, is actually right. So while the backbone of this journey is setting out to achieve a frankly ludicrous sub-7 lap time, that's almost an excuse destination to tell a much wider story as to why this place is so special, so notorious, why OEMs use it as the benchmark tarmac in the world to develop cars, and what keeps people coming back from all walks of life to this spot right here. Now this challenge is hard enough as it is, so to give myself a fighting chance, I've ordered the Helping Hand Pack, also known as the Weissach Pack, a more track-focused, lighter weight version of the already ballistic 992 GT3 RS. But to find out what the Weissach Pack really means, we got this car up on the ramp at Porsche Perth with GT3 specialist Cami to find out what this car is really all about.
Some of them, it's got a lot of protective coating on it.
Oh yeah, for that. So this anti-roll bar, you can see it up close that it is carbon, but it's got the sort of underbody protection on it. Cooling and channeling is crazy on this thing.
It helps diffuse a lot of the air as well, so it's going through and it's penetrating the air as cleanly as possible.
And that is a pretty serious piece of carbon, that. Yeah, they've really evolved this heavily, haven't they? Top line, the GT3 RS is all about aero, generating a staggering 860 kilograms of downforce at around 170 miles an hour, surpassing even the GT3 Cup race car for wild cornering speeds.
This part here is also part of our DRS Aero.
So that's active?
So that's active as well. So that works in tandem with your rear spoiler. And when your rear spoiler goes down to a maximum downforce, that will also shift to a maximum downforce position as well.
That's the reason why they now have a central cooling system, right? Yeah. So obviously on a GT3 non-RS, you have a frunk because the cooling radiators are here and here. But I think they've taken learnings from the GT3R and RSR and gone, if we consolidate in the middle, do away with a frunk, then we can channel aero over the wishbones. Which is proper race cars. Now, as one of my all-time favourite places in the world, I've been really fortunate over the years to spend quite a lot of time at the Nürburgring. But not nearly enough time for the challenge that lies ahead of me. So we're going to be catching up with masters, pros and heroes along the way to give me as much help as I can get and give you an unseen insight into the remarkable world of the Nürburgring.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
So it's quite a maintaining momentum lap.
Yeah, especially with a car like this, which is like pretty high on brake, which you only don't have. It's all about momentum. Because you don't make that turn straight.
No.
It doesn't make it easy.
No, it doesn't make it easy. It's like proper commitment stuff, isn't it? You can ask Santa for a sim. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are you sure about this, Jimbo? So on the journey of researching this, I was trying to explain just how challenging this task is For an amateur driver like me, you could liken this to a type of climbing Everest moment. And that analogy stuck with me. Only, it turns out, over 6,000 people have successfully summited Everest, and less than 40 people have officially lapped the ring in under 7 minutes. Why is that?
Before we answer that question, let me introduce you to Manthey Racing, the team who will be at the heart of the Sub-7 journey. So successful in racing and development that Porsche acquired a majority stake in Manthey, making them Porsche's official in-house race department. Today, we're speaking with Michael Grassel to understand why.
Dear 2031, can't wait to see you. With our 160-point inspection, the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You're going to be the handsomest wedding guest.
I look amazing. I feel like I can do anything. Move over her, Dad. Oh no! Job interview! The Men's Warehouse!
This challenge is so difficult. Why do you think it is that hardly anyone has done a Sub-7? I mean, it's not because there's a lack of people who are talented enough. There's plenty of fast drivers. And yet, seemingly, less than 40 people have done this in a road legal car. Why is that?
The whole lap is the real deal, because then you can compare it to the factory lap of Jörg, Loris, or whatever.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
And it's
place to go to think and ponder. It's not so far away. Just your love. Grass is green, the trees are high, and there's a dark, deep magic pool. Look long enough, it's very old, and you may see a glint of gold.
very nice song where you see it's a big orchestral soundstage, but you can clearly focus on the different instruments.
Good morning.
Now I would like to give you just a short information about the naming of the loudspeakers.
What?
It's 2 a.m. in the middle of the night and I'm being filmed by a security camera with darkness all around me.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 238 of The China Show, The Real China Show. We have a fantastic show for you today.
It's exciting, it's dour, it's funny, it's nuts,
Everything,
crazy.
everything that you would expect.
It's all the stuff that happened in China this week. But if you're new here, don't forget to give the stream a like, or the show a like. Number 2, shout out to the 238. Do you know what area code that is?
What?
Cabo Verde.
What is that?
I don't know.
Verde is green, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Cabo.
Green Cabo.
You know, people say I'm going to go to Cabo.
No.
Rich people say that. Oh, I'm going to go
I never heard
party
of
in
that.
Cabo.
Never heard of that.
This must be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, anyway, we did a kind of a breaking episode where we talked about this big bicycle uprising.
Yes.
So you
Explain that.
probably saw that. It was a fantastic movement where all the college kids decided, you know what, we're going to go and get these famous Kaifeng soup dumplings. And everybody jumped on bikes, and hundreds of thousands of students took to the streets, and they all went, and it was a big event, and everyone was having a great time. Well, you can imagine the Chinese government didn't like it very much.
Yeah, there was 800,000 of them.
Yeah, this is what people are saying around the whole country. But anyway, hundreds of thousands. So anyway, let's talk about what happened yesterday in Henan Polytechnic University.
So, I just want to say something real quick.
Sure.
I knew this was going to happen. People were going to have these BBC shows or BBC articles or whatever and cover this and be like, wow, look at this, whatever. But the police swiftly cracked down. But they weren't going to talk about what happened afterwards.
Sure.
The Chinese government is not going to tolerate 800,000 people getting on bicycles, even if it's to go get dumplings.
Yes.
Because that looks like an uprising. Like, they literally piss themselves when this happens. The aftermath is what no one's going to talk about. And it's going to be this. You're not going to be allowed to ride bikes.
Now, at the universities, like this is the Henan Polytechnic University, students are banned from riding bicycles.
Yes.
You're not allowed to ride bicycles anymore. Okay, and so here's a guy trying to get on his bike, and the security here are ripping his bike away from him.
Great optics, right?
Yeah. It's like, look, they're smacking him and stuff to take his bike away.
You may not have bicycles.
He just wants to ride a bicycle.
No.
Is that crazy?
Ride my bicycle. They should have had that song as the theme song.
Yes, they should have. Anyway, the stupid thing is, now they ban the wrong things. Now you're just not allowed to ride bicycles if you're a college student on that campus.
You know what else you can't do? What? Slap a mouse statue.
Oh, you can't, can you? Yeah, where is that even? It's around here. I got it.
I always like to throw that in for context when people say, wow, that's a crazy law. Well, they also arrested an 8-year-old boy for doing that, slapping a mouse statue.
Anyway, so look, this is across the board. It looks like they banned students from riding bicycles at universities because of this thing. But they also now have banned bicycles full stop on the roads in the bicycle lanes. You're not allowed to ride bikes anymore because they don't want students getting on bicycles anymore.
No more bicycle protest rallies, basically.
Well,
Even though they weren't even protests.
No, just no more bicycles. Like, let's just stop bicycles. You're not allowed to ride bicycles here.
I gotta say,
what?
That whole hundreds of thousands of people. By the way, you want to know something stupid? This is completely off topic.
Okay, what?
You know what British people call sprinkles? You know sprinkles?
What, like hundreds of thousands?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know that? Well, you call it sprinkles. I mean, that's bad. That's like
that's a number. Yeah, but it's like a number.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I love. You know what I love to collect is 842. That's what we call watches.
Dude, sprinkles could mean anything.
Sprinkles.
Yeah, well, you're sprinkling like rain. It could mean like urine. You never know.
Oh, come on. That's a verb. Anyway, that kind of topic. You know what? When this happened.
By the way, the college students, some of them were like, well, if we can't ride a bike, we're going to walk. But look, the problem is it fizzled out. And that's the whole point. They don't want it to happen again.
I know. That was my point. Is nobody's covering this aftermath, right? The implications here are huge. It's going to actually change like the landscape of what you can do in college now, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that when this happened, hundreds of thousands of people, sprinkles of people get on their bicycles and they head to these epicenters to go get food. And the camaraderie, the passion, the fun that everyone had was the funnest, coolest thing that's happened in China in 20 years.
Yeah.
And we were all cheering them on.
Yes.
There was nothing weird about it. There's no anti-government protest.
Yep.
But they still shut it down.
Yes.
And now they don't let people do it anymore. It wasn't a victory for China.
I mean, you also have to think about it from this point of view. If you were a college student in China and you had this incredible experience, you went out and you met people and you had this amazing thing, and then the day after, the government bans all college students from riding bicycles.
Yeah.
And they're like, campuses are not allowed to have bicycles anymore. You're not allowed to go on a bicycle on the street. Wouldn't that actually start to spark something off in you? Wouldn't you be like, maybe my government is bad?
Because here's the deal: if they went, they should have played this. I think if the Chinese government was smart, this is like we're talking about like NFL, like looking over plays. But like, if I draw up the board here, if the CCP actually played this smart, they would have said, we allowed all these people to get on their bikes and go do this. It shows the spirit of China and how free and open it is.
Yeah.
Instead, what they did was crack down, and now all those students, in their heart of hearts, will look back and say, why did they ban that? We were just having fun.
It's like they'll say, these foreigners always say that our government is like a oppressive, suppressive government, and that's BS. But actually,
I've never
no.
experienced it.
But you know what? Actually, now that it's happened to me, maybe they're right. Maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe there's an inkling of truth.
Like we said, China's free until it's not, until you're affected by it, and then people become, especially in China, they become very, very against their government because they wake up. They're like, whoa! I didn't know this oppressiveness existed. This is a whole new swath of people that have now been affected by that.
Hundreds of thousands of them. Anyway, so that's the update on that. Unfortunately, it is now dead and fizzled out. And, even though bikes are there, you can't use them and you're not allowed to use them.
We have an incredibly low like ratio right now. Can you guys please like the stream? We would love you for it.
Yeah,
Sprinkle the like button.
Yeah, put some hundreds and thousands on there.
Yeah.
You know.
And then click it.
Sure. So anyway, thought we'd lighten the mood a little bit with a high-speed police chase. Because, you know, police chases don't happen in China.
They do not.
They don't do pursuit chases in China. It just doesn't happen.
People will say, oh, it's more free.
No, it's because there are enough
lazy.
cameras and they'll get you with a
The cops
fine
are
or they'll
lazy.
come to your door later or whatever.
Yeah.
But here we've got a guy on a tricycle. You can see him up here. I'm going to get us out of here. And he's obviously done something to really make the police angry. So they're after him, right?
Yes.
And he's just like, I'm out of here. So there he goes. And the cops are like, get back here. Get back here, you son of a... Oops. I know.
Very gentle.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just like maybe watch where you're running. Don't run into a pole.
For sure.
There he goes.
Run into a Russian instead.
Well, yeah, anyway. Thought that was kind of interesting.
Not a joke against Russians, by the way.
No, of course not.
Run into a different person.
Sure. This guy is having a little bit of a battle with his... What do you call that even? A hole digger? You know, like...
I believe that's a whole thing.
You like
yeah.
dig a hole to plant a tree or put a fence post or something?
I think so.
It's run away.
Something like that.
This, by the way, guys, is this is a very important video.
Yeah.
We all know about China's gutter oil. We keep reminding you here. We always show you clips of the gutter oil or the spit oil in this case, which is the chili oil that gets
What is it?
recycled from the trash.
And tell everyone what it is, probably.
Well, gutter oil is when they dig the oil that's in the sewers or grease traps under the ground from the pipes. Okay, literally from the sewage pipes or the waste pipes, and they scoop it out. They go and then they like process it and then they sell it back to restaurants and street vendors and stuff at a low price.
It ends up in things like hot pot and barbecue. Sometimes barbecue massage.
Oh yeah, a little bit of that. Where is that? I know I had that.
That probably has gutter oil in it.
Probably. Anyway, the thing is, spit oil is a bit different.
Yeah.
It's the chili oil that you get in hot pot. Now, hot pot is a fantastic dish. Anyone who's been to China has probably had it. It's a great meal. It's a fantastic experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually split down the middle. You get a yuanyang hot pot.
Mm-hmm.
One side is just savory and mild. The other side is spicy. And they love to put this chili oil, okay? Red chili oil, and it floats to the top or whatever. So when it's done, because people have been literally gobbing in it the whole time, you know, because they eat with their chopsticks and then they put their chopsticks in and they put their own food in there and stuff. And
Sometimes
whatever, you know, like blow your nose in it, anything. So it's used, and so they throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
But then some enterprising restaurants send their staff out to go and get it back out of the trash.
Yes.
Okay, because it floats to the top, the chili oil, it's very easy to harvest it, right?
Yes.
You simply use a ladle, you can get it out. Now, we show this footage all the time, and people are like, oh yeah, but maybe they're not actually going to give it to other customers or something. Maybe it's...
No one made that excuse. Of course they are.
But okay.
They're going to go play with it?
Yeah, here's definitive proof. Okay, finally we can show you. So here we can see the staff from the restaurant. Okay, she's wearing the uniform, and she's ladling it up out of the trash, and there she goes, walks across the road into her restaurant. Now here's the genius. Whoever filmed this was like, okay, enough of this.
They wanted to go all the way.
They're like, they go down. There's the trash can that she got it from. Okay.
P.F. Chang's is hosting a chef's feast. You can get a 3-course meal starting at under $20 per person. Find craveable lettuce wraps and a full menu of flavors to celebrate with friends, family, everyone. Come see why we're America's #1 Asian bistro.
With this low mileage lease on this 2024 Cadillac Lyriq all-wheel drive Legend 1 for around $599 per month.
You can see there the cones. There's the restaurant she walked into. So this is the restaurant. You see all the customers happily eating. Yummy. I love this chili flavored soup that I'm eating. And there's the woman. There she is. There's the woman that took the chili oil out of the trash right into the kitchen to give to other customers.
Dang.
There she is serving customers.
Caught grease-handed.
Exactly.
You know? Red-handed is red chili oil, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, look, again, when we show you the chili oil, gutter oil stuff, the spit oil stuff, it's not some weird conspiracy theory that you can disprove. It's real.
Oh,
it really is real. It's everywhere. And it's a big problem China faces because if there's money to be made, if you can take a shortcut and save some money, that's what's going to happen. You know,
and that's the deal, though. Like that's what you have to understand if you're going to go there and visit there. You have to understand that's the thing. It's something we dealt with when we were in China. We understood that it was a reality. We just dealt with it. We lived with it.
Also, take a look. This is not like a terrible restaurant either.
No, this isn't some little hole in the wall.
No, this is you could be walking. I'm just going to rewind just a little bit so that you can see
Is that a nice area?
the entrance to the restaurant.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
It's like it's got outdoor seating.
Yeah,
you know
that's rare, right? This is a nice place.
Yeah, look, it's
Tablecloths.
probably on a walking street here. You can see
When's the
other
last time you had
restaurants.
tablecloths at a Chinese
Yeah,
restaurant?
exactly.
Come on.
So I mean, look, you walking into this place thinking this looks kind of nice. There's lots of people eating there. Looks like reasonable price. Look, I mean, look at the tables. It's like marble tables. Look at that. It's looking. Yeah, it might be a wallpaper marble, but whatever. It looks nice. It looks clean. It looks legit.
For sure.
But you're eating chili oil out of the trash.
Absolutely. By the way,
Speaking of trash, yeah, what?
There's a new feature that has been rolled out called Goals.
Goals.
And it's goals for super chats, which is really cool.
What is this?
I'm gonna try.
I
it
don't
out.
like change.
Okay, we won't do change. But what I will do is say
What
that
is
we have managed to get a quarter of the people watching to like, which is a great record. Let's see if we can bust it. Can you like the stream? Please do. And I want to say thank you to Aya, Dr. YouTuber, David Lopan, Dr. YouTuber again, and EDASM for gifting all those memberships to our beautiful family here at the China Show. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, guys, I wanted to show you this. Zhang Heching, our favorite Chinese official, Communist Party official.
Well, probably the least.
Yeah,
Probably the least favorite.
posted this stupid thing.
Can we show people what he's done before?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me bring that up.
He posted that as real.
Yeah,
About
as real.
8 parallel, like perpendicular trains.
Yes.
All fake, saying that was China's infrastructure.
Let's play this little clip. By the way, we have a challenge for the audience. Okay, this is a stupid AI video, and the reason that he posted it, we'll talk about in a minute.
Yes, it's actually dark.
But
Horrible.
this song that he used has got lyrics in it.
It does. Yeah.
And we are trying to decipher exactly what these lyrics are.
So crap.
So can you guys help us with this?
Yeah, let's listen to it. There's more light.
Really? Okay, wait. Let's go back to that.
Yeah, we'll play it
One more time. Maybe people can try to pick out what it is. Like, put it in the chat.
By the way, we don't know.
No, we know. Like,
yeah.
you can pick up some of it. What is this nonsense? Like, you want to be
Dragon
hanging
L
with
says
your
this
mates.
is to bridge the gap tier.
It is. It really is.
You want to be good, want to be fresh and cool, and something
Yeah.
to be tough.
Regular day, hanging with your mates, something like that, right?
Regular day, feel okay.
Definitely hanging with your mates is in there,
I have no idea.
which is very much against the kind of rap that you would normally hear, because it's never, oh, I'm hanging with your mates.
No, this is like lame after school special, like PSA, don't do drugs rap.
Let's
That's
hear
what
it.
it sounds
Let's hear it
like.
one more time.
Just a regular face, want to be tough, see you cool at school. It's definitely like PSA, like British rap from my.
Whatever it is, it's nonsense. I think you zoomed
love
in
that
here
it's in
to show the lovely writing on her shirt.
no, it was the
and
hands.
and the hands. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Yeah,
If you want to just have nightmare feel for later.
it's pretty bad.
It's terrifying.
Yes.
I hate everything about this.
Yes.
I hate this so much.
It looks very bad.
The hands go away. They become like, it's horrible.
Anyway, the reason that he posted that is because on the same day he posted that, a terrible tragedy happened in China. I've just made a video about it. It's a horrific revenge against society attack where like a 62-year-old guy got in his car and went to where all the middle-aged people do their exercises around the gym. There's a sports center there, and they go on these parades, and he just drove through all of them, and like he hit 100 people. It's like 43 plus injured, 35 plus, definitely more than 35, but that's the official numbers. 35 dead on site. right there. So you never know who died in hospital later or whatever. Anyway, it's a terrible, terrible tragedy. It's massive, okay? Huge. Unprecedented for Zhuhai. I have friends that live in Zhuhai who reached out to me and were like, what the F is this? You know, they were sending me like videos and stuff because
stuff's happening all over China right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, it was last week, guys. Last week we did that breaking episode where we showed you day after day about these Revenge Against Society attacks. It was kind of like a premonition because it was only a few days later that this massive one happened in Zhuhai. Because this is big. Because normally, you know, they'll hit a crowd and there'll be a dozen people at most.
Yeah.
But this time, it was about 100 people got hit.
Yeah.
Who knows really what the real numbers are, but at least close to 100 were severely injured or died or dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so this happened at a very inopportune time for China because they're having the Zhuhai Air Show at the same time.
Yeah, to show off like the military planes.
Yeah, this is to show off their military drones.
We have
and
some real
planes.
footage of that actually.
Yeah, we'll show you shortly.
From Zhang Heching as well.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're not going to show any footage here. If you want to see all about that, my video on the Serpent ZA channel, I discuss it in depth. But any foreign reporters that try to report on it were harassed, forced to delete their footage. A BBC reporter got pushed around by undercover police, all sorts of nonsense like this. You can go check it out. Here's the thing. This is the Zhuhai Special Economic Daily, whatever you call it, Special Zone Daily. It is the People's Daily of Zhuhai. It is Zhuhai's newspaper.
Yes.
So we're like, let's look at the front page news. This is for the 13th. Okay, it happened on the 11th. This is the 13th. No mention of it.
11 or 12 also.
Here's, the 12th didn't have it. This is the 14th. Did I skip over the 12th? I must have skipped over the 12th. Let's go back.
You guys can look it up yourself. Oh, it's in there, you're saying?
Somehow it's not. Maybe you put the stupid dancing panda over it.
No.
Either way, front page of the Zhuhai newspaper on the 11th, on the 12th, because of course it happened on the evening of the 11th, so you wouldn't expect it to be in the newspaper. But the next day, the 12th, not a single mention of it. A bunch of stuff about Xi Jinping, obviously. The 13th, nothing in there. 14th, nothing in there. So this massive tragedy happens in your city, and the local city newspaper doesn't publish a peep. Yeah, it was a massacre. Not a peep in the Chinese news. And it shows you how censored the Chinese news is. Bad news is not reported on because that is huge.
I mean, it was one of the biggest massacres in recent days.
Yeah, and
you know they've been happening like every
Zhuhai
day.
is a big city. It's an important city. They're having their big air show there.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just not talk about. You know? It's as if it happened in Chicago or something.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big parade, and then people get run over and stuff.
People.
And there's not
Think about that.
one
When when that guy ran those people over in that terrorist attack in Toronto, that was big news for years, and people still think about it and talk about it right now.
International news.
Yeah, and it was way less than this.
I'm pretty sure Toronto's newspapers were reporting on it.
Oh, dude, the whole world, every country, including China.
This is as bad.
It was
This is
actually
worse.
more people,
Yeah,
not
more-
worse in terms
yeah.
of morality. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but-
like worse in terms of how many people died.
Correct. It's like it's a huge thing. Just to again illustrate to all of you how China censors the news, and as long as people don't discuss bad news, it never happened, right? As long as you don't need to face the problems, you don't need to face head on what's causing all of these attacks, because you just need to sweep it under the rug.
Right.
Awful. Anyway, speaking of the Zhuhai Air Show, which is all they talk about in this stupid paper anyway. Before we get to that, I had to read this. The foreign ministry was asked about this thing.
And then you have to reply, right?
Yeah.
It's like live.
So now it's like, so what did he say? He said, on November 13th, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs responded to the Zhuhai car crash incident that caused 35 deaths and 43 injuries. So far, there are no foreign casualties in this case.
Because that's what matters.
And
that's
China,
what they care about. Isn't that so telling?
Yeah. And China is one of the safest countries in the world with the lowest crime rates.
You can't say
What
that.
is, like,
You
seriously.
can't say that.
Yeah. The Chinese government has always taken and will continue to take effective measures to fully protect the lives and social stability of the people. It will also, as always, effectively protect the safety of all foreigners in China.
See what they care about?
Yeah. And provide a market-orientated Market orientated?
They are dying for investment right now.
What the hell is market
They are
orientated?
so scared that people see these reports and are not going to invest or come to China anymore.
Yeah, see, market orientated, law based, and what was that?
So telling. It's so telling.
Internationalized business environment for Chinese and foreign companies.
What?
Saline from Vicks.
Just sign X, breathe. What? Wow. Sinex, breathe.
At Bombas, we dream of comfort and softness. This is why we make the best socks and slippers in the history of feet. Visit bombas.com and shop our big holiday sale.
Voltaren, the long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
Hit it.
How will earning unlimited cash back make you feel? Well, a little like this. And like this. It takes two to feel the joy. Earn unlimited 2% cash back. 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay with the Citi Double Cash Card. More Americans doing NBC News than any other news organization.
We're back with today's holiday consumer. This feels like a good weekend to start talking turkey.
And stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberries, well, you get the idea. It's the perfect time to start your Thanksgiving meal shopping with the holiday less than 2 weeks away.
Hard to believe, but what's the most budget-friendly way to go about all that? We are so happy NBC News senior consumer investigative correspondent Vicki Wynn is here to walk us through it all. Vicki, inflation is actually better. It's eased a little bit, but people still feel like prices are too high. They go in the grocery store, they have the sticker shock. What is the average price of a Thanksgiving meal, and what are some of your best tips on how to save some cash?
Yeah, let's dive into it, Laura. The folks at Wells Fargo came up with the cost for a meal for 10. And if you talk about the Thanksgiving turkey with all the trimmings, the cranberry sauce, the rolls, the salad, the mashed potatoes, and they say it costs $90 for you to prepare it if you're using name brand ingredients. If you do store brand, it's $73. The price went up a little bit on store brands. You know why? Because everyone shifted to buying store brands to save money. Also, there are meal deals that you want to look out for. So Aldi is doing an entire meal for 10 for a lot less, just $47. It includes a 16-pound turkey, all the things that we would want in a meal, mashed potatoes, gravy. It includes the dessert, the pumpkin pie. Walmart has a deal for 8 people that'll cost you under $7 per guest. 29 ingredients, and you actually can give or gift that meal as well if you want to help out in your community. And then finally, if you have a smaller gathering, Target is doing a meal for $20 for 4 people. But I must warn you, there is no dessert, so you got to make your own sweet potato or pumpkin pie, whichever side you fall on. Finally, I would say use those cashback apps. Like there's Upside, Checkout 51. Those are great cashback apps that give you money back on your groceries.
So the prices are one thing, but there's just the anxiety of doing all of this. So aside from having you come over and cook, what are some of the things we can do to reduce the stress, especially leading up to it?
Okay, let's strategize, guys. We actually do have this whole weekend and this whole week to look at the little ads in the circulars. You can do that digitally. You can do it by paper, which I like to do, and kind of get a game plan going. Look at the recipes that you're going to be making. What are the ingredients you need? And don't forget about things like butter, which show up in the mashed potatoes and the biscuits and the stuffing. So you want to buy enough. You may have to shop in more than one store if savings are important to you because different stores have different deals. But then you're not dealing with the last minute rush and like everybody is there next week the day before and then they like somebody grabs the last box of stuffing and out of luck. I would also say when it comes to this like pre-planning, it's okay to pre-order. There is no shame in saying, I'm going to get a pie from here or I'm going to get some sides from there. Just make sure you check those local cutoff dates and deadlines. Sometimes it's like, you know, you need more days than just a couple of days out. Don't make the mistake that I did the first Thanksgiving we were here in New York City. I said, okay, we'll just do a meal at Whole Foods. I only have one tiny oven in this apartment. We went to the Whole Foods. They had no record of my order. I had no record of my order. I was like in an alternate universe. Like, did I forget the order? My husband's looking at me like, we have no food. So we went to the hot deli section and just got like the whatever was left there.
You made it pasta salad.
And I found out, you know what happened? I had placed my order at a different Whole Foods. And so that's what I learned. There are many Whole Foods on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake.
All right. You've been warned from the experience.
All the insights from Vicky.
Is to help you. Vicky, thank you so
Don't
much.
procrastinate. That's the message. What's going on today?
Okay, so still to come, nailing it with a big honor for the late Betty White. That's up with these messages.
Kate made progress with her mental health, but her medication caused unintentional movements in her face, hands, and feet called tardive dyskinesia, or TD. So her doctor prescribed Austedo XR, a once-daily extended-release TD treatment for adults. Austedo XR significantly reduced Kate's TD movements. Some people saw a response as early as 2 weeks. With Austedo XR, Kate can stay on her mental health meds.
Oh, hi, buddy. Austedo XR can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you today.
No matter what time you wake up, start your day with Fox 61.
The latest news, weather, and traffic from your hometown all morning long. Now, the latest Fox 61 weather impact forecast.
Coming off a really nice day yesterday, during the afternoon it got pretty warm under the sun. Got really nice. And by the looks of it, check this out, Guilford. Beautiful shot, picture perfect out there. This is right now. Going to be a beautiful day again today.
Yeah, but you can see kind of that brush over there that's, you know, kind of blowing that this morning. So we are anticipating another day where an elevated brush fire risk is a concern. I know there was one over in North Haven yesterday, and so several were burning across the state at some points during the day. So it won't take much to ignite a spark or a flame, and then that will get carried by the wind that is expected. And we just have low relative humidity, so meaning that it's just incredibly dry out there. In addition to the wind, it's just the perfect recipe for an elevated brush fire risk with no real rain in at least the next 5 days or so. It would be until we get to Thursday that we think we'll get a little bit more in the way of rainfall. On Monday, there is a chance for maybe a shower or a sprinkle early on. So while the kids are at the bus stop or while you're driving to work, there may be a few raindrops, but it all comes down relatively light. So in terms of our future rainfall here, you'll see that even this particular model isn't betting on rain for Monday morning, but there is that opportunity. But a better chance for rain comes in for Thursday and Thursday afternoon and evening. We could pick up a half an inch to an inch of rain in some spots, so we'll certainly keep our fingers crossed that this holds together. 32 degrees right now in Hartford. It's mostly clear with winds that are calm this morning there. And then also looking in Groton this morning, where we have the feels like temperature that is around 36 degrees with that wind around the west around 7 miles per hour, and our temperatures are around 41 degrees. So our temperatures across the state have warmed into the 40s, some scattered upper 30s right now, but eventually most of us get up into the lower 60s under wall-to-wall sunshine. So grab those sunglasses before you leave today. Any outdoor plans with your friends and family look good, but of course no bonfires, because although it may be tempting, we still have that brush fire risk. Then overnight tonight, our numbers will fall into the 30s to 40 to wake up to tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, We're back into the middle 60s across the state, some upper 50s like in Waterbury at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but more sunshine on the way. We'll increase the cloud coverage on Sunday night into early Monday. So by Monday morning around 8 a.m. or so, northwestern Connecticut dealing with some light rain. This moves through the state. So by 10 a.m. in southeastern areas, you're seeing the rain wind down. Once this comes through, the sunshine comes out and we're back to the lower 60s. And again, not a lot of rain is associated with it, just a couple of raindrops. 63 degrees in Hartford today, around 63 along the shoreline. Mostly sunny and breezy, gust potential towards about 30. It's mostly clear, not as cold tonight. We're down into the 30s and 40s tomorrow afternoon, into the middle 60s. Middle 60s for Monday too, and then we'll drop the numbers by Tuesday into the lower 60s. Still trending above average through the middle of next week, and then we'll drop those numbers into more seasonal numbers by Thursday and Friday, in addition to bringing in an opportunity for a better chance for rain, Angela. We certainly need it.
May not feel like it right now, but the holiday season is upon us, and Christmas tree farmers fear it might not be a green Christmas. A drought across the Northeast has left tree farmers scrambling to keep their crops watered. One farmer from Massachusetts says last year was too wet, and this year's too dry. He says the trees ready to be chopped this holiday season are okay, but the effects will be seen in about 10 years down the line.
There's probably 300 trees in this section, and I probably have 150 that are dead. I shouldn't lose that many. I should lose 10 trees. We lost 20 to 25% of the trees that we planted this year. In 10 years, I have 25 or 20% less of my product to sell.
Those farmers recommend shoppers get their trees early to ensure the best pick. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and as many get ready to spend the day with their loved ones at the table, enjoy some delicious meals, Consumer Reports has some tips to safely prepare them. When it comes to turkey prep, do not forget to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and warm water. If you deal with a raw turkey, pat that bird with a damp paper towel. Throw away that paper towel and wash your hands right away. Now, it's recommended you wash your hands after touching containers in your kitchen as well, as they can carry bacteria. And don't forget to check your sponges, as they can also carry bacteria. It's a New England tradition just in time for the start of the holiday season. So far, cider season has been big business in Burlington for a small mill that's family-owned. Fox 61's Jim Altman has this story.
It is very much the holiday season here where they are pressed for success. It has been that way for the past 112 years. Outside, the truck is classic. Inside, the tradition is timeless. We've been open since 1912. Trust the process. The press will do the rest. Cider is still happening. Hogan Cider Mill in Burlington is gearing up for their holiday truck. We just bottled our cranberry and our ginger cider, so we're really getting into the holiday spirit here. For the family here, it's been a memorable season so far. Owner and cider mill manager Margaret Borla says social media is providing a second bite at the apple. Or more. 3 years ago, they introduced this, the Drunken Donut. It went viral with millions of views. I would say social media has really been tremendous in helping us grow our business. About 80% of our customers have found us via social media. Further than all over the state, we've been having visitors coming from all over the world. We had many guests from Europe this fall, South America, Canada, and just all over the U.S. We have every state but North Dakota and Hawaii. We've never got Hawaii. Here, the pressure is still on, which helps people to unwind. It's just really a magical environment here around the holidays, having people come visit with their families and becoming part of their annual tradition of coming to spend that family time with us. And cider season runs through New Year's Day. This time of year, they are open Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. In Burlington, Jim Altman, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good stuff. Coming up on the Fox 61 Morning News, there is a lot to do this weekend. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at a few of those fun events going on across Connecticut.
The latest news, weather, and traffic from your hometown all morning long.
The Connecticut Auto Show, your ultimate car shopping experience. Happening now through Sunday at Mohegan Sun. The hottest new cars, trucks, SUVs, and EVs. Family fun with Subaru Loves Pets. Now through Sunday at Mohegan Sun. CTAutoshow.com.
When someone you love needs extra care and support in their home, we are here to help. At HomeWatch Caregivers, we make home care personal. Our compassionate approach is to provide care for the whole person, not just their condition. You want a caregiver that brings the very best in enriching, engaging, and empowering in-home care. Our goal is to provide the highest level of caregiving services at an affordable cost, and our local in-home caregivers are thoroughly vetted to provide you with a sense of security and trust. Contact us today.
Queens Community House serves people at every stage of life. You might walk into our community center and see seniors playing ping pong or kids attending a summer camp and different programming for people of all ages. Queens Community House has grown a lot in the last 2 years, and M&T Bank has been with us every step of the way. They have a personal approach to the banking industry. They're taking the time to get to know us.
This is the world's first holographic PC fan. Yes, you heard that right. Not only does this thing push air from A to B, but at the same time, it creates an image of your choosing. And it doesn't even need to be a still one. Sphere-shaped text.
So yesterday we put together two entire systems for under $1,500 at a high-end audio show, which is incredible. But today we're going to kind of go to the opposite end of the pendulum swing. I already know from my first integrated amplifier, okay? And I know it's going to be a little cliche because I talk about these guys all of the time, and I absolutely love it. I kind of refuse to actually review it because I know I'm going to want it. But it is, of course, the awesome, the one, the only, the beautiful, Advanced Paris A12 Classic. The thing about it is, this is basically a dual mono amp, so everything's separated. So you have a power supply on the left channel, you have a power supply on the right channel, and it's got a ton of stuff in it. Now we are going to add a DAC, because while the DAC inside is good, there are better options out there that aren't really that, it's not crazy expensive to add a really good, better DAC. You may even find a new phono preamp, but I love this thing.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So last weekend I got to spend some time in Rockville, Maryland for Capital Audio Fest 2024, and it was awesome. Some of the best hi-fi gear in the world is there. I got to see all kinds of different turntables, speakers, electronics, all the stuff that you could possibly imagine that you would want in your home audio system. So I got to vlog my experience and get a bunch of good footage. So let's check it out. What's up, guys? We're at CAF 2024 this Thursday night. We have gotten all set up for the day, for the weekend. got drum sets, music equipment, speakers, everything. So I'm pretty excited to get to work tomorrow. Not sure how much I'm going to get to film tomorrow since it's the first day, but Saturday, Sunday, we're definitely getting some footage. We're going to check out some of the sound systems and some of the companies here. Excited to see some of the good ones, Akora, Estelon, YG, a lot of different stuff out here. So we're going to check it out. And yeah, let's jump into it. We'll have some fun.
Good morning, good morning.
So the first room that we went into on the first floor had two different setups with Genesis speakers. I preferred this one with the VPI turntable and the Heat Elixir integrated amplifier. So the next room we decided to stop in was House of Stereo, showing off the Focal Grand Utopia EM Evos with REL subwoofers and paired with T+A preamp and amplification. It was easily one of the best systems of the entire weekend. I really enjoyed seeing the new Akora Acoustics MRB and MRC series, as well as the SRB Gemstone series. VAC had a great room again this year, pairing their amplifiers with the Akora Acoustics VRC series speakers. It sounded huge and had a lot of detail and clarity for the size of the room. So I'm already a fan of Borison, and I really enjoy most of their speakers, but these T5s just sounded amazing in this room. I really enjoyed sitting down and listening to them for a few minutes. I thought they just sounded crisp, clear, and had a lot of clarity, a lot of imaging, and yeah, just really put you in the song. So the MBL room was really crazy as well. Their speakers, I don't even want to try to pronounce, but they were running electronics as well, with a 6010 preamp running into two 9011 mono blocks. The room sounded amazing and had a really cool vibe to it. I mean, just look how cool these speakers are. Yes, those are actually speakers. Crazy, right? I really enjoyed this room from Odyssey as well. They were showing their Liquid Tower speakers, as well as their Kismet reference amplifier and some other electronics. Thought it sounded really great and had a cool vibe to it. It was also a pleasure to stop by Command Performance AV's room. They had the reimagined Audio Vector trapeze speakers, and artist Ampazon did a little performance where she sang over a beautiful piano track. It was just a joy to be in that room during the performance. Really loved it, and it sounded great. Also really enjoyed this VPI room with the Stenheim speakers, Griffin Electronics, and 3 new VPI turntables. The turntable, I believe he called the Avenger V or the Avenger Statement, but either way, they looked great and sounded even better. Also really enjoyed checking out the new VPI Model 1 turntables. They were running on Audio Research Electronics and running into the Pure Audio Project Trio 15 speakers. Sounded great. I always love the Voice That Is as well. They use Tidal speakers and get their room just dialed in to where it just sounds fantastic. I love it. love the look and sound of this room. They were using the Go Bell Divine Marquee speakers, the Riviera Electronics, and Wadax Studio Player for their source. They also used Shinyata power conditioning. It sounded awesome. I've also become a big fan of this classic audio loudspeaker setup. It's just a really cool sight to see. Something about it looks super classy, super vintage, and they still sound really fantastic. I was also pleasantly surprised by these Chroma speakers with Havoc components. I thought for the size of the smaller speaker, it had a massive sound, and the big speaker had incredible dynamic control. They both just sounded great. So this is the room that we set up for the show. I'm going to give you a quick tour and just walk through the room so you can see all the cool stuff.
Today at the gym, we're going to do lower chest
to
really accentuate the teardrop.
Good morning, and welcome to Overture Suite 650 in this year's Capitol Audio Fest in Rockville, Maryland. This year's system consists of the Acoustic Signature Hurricane Neo turntable with two of Acoustic Signature's TA2000 Neo tone arms. On the rear tone arm, we have the Van den Holt Crimson Stradivarius, and on the front tone arm, we have the Lyra Cleos. You'll also notice that we have the DS Audio Ionizer. For amplification this year, we are using the Vitus Audio Invictus RI-101 Mark II, and it does have the optional Roon module installed. For phono preamplification this year, we're using the Sutherland 2020 with the outboard LPS power supply. For streaming this year, we're using the Oranger N200, and it is feeding the MSB discrete DAC. All the components sit on an HRS EXR rack. All of our power distribution is through the Shinyata Gemini 8, and all our cabling is from Shinyata. Lastly, our speakers are the Estelan Orbs. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll hope you'll visit Overture in Suite 650. Thank you.
So there was quite a few rooms that featured YG loudspeakers, but I was probably the most impressed with the bookshelves. They were very compact in size, but packed a big punch and had a good sound. So I was excited to get to this room and see another pair of Estelans. These are also paired with Vitus Electronics, and I think the combo just sounds great. I really like Estelan because they have a cool aesthetic look, they sound amazing, and they're becoming one of my favorite speaker brands out there. So yeah, check them out if you haven't already. This YG setup definitely made AC/DC sound better than I've ever heard. Really enjoyed the sound of this setup as well, but I just was really captivated by the color of these YG speakers. I thought they really popped when you walked in the room. I really enjoyed this room because of the vibe and the whole 80s theme, but it sounded really good as well. I really enjoyed this room by Haniwa Audio as well. I thought the speakers just looked super cool, super futuristic, super low profile, and the sound was incredible, so I really enjoyed having a few minutes to sit and listen in this room.
I just stopped it. I didn't even realize that.
So So this was probably my favorite setup that featured YG acoustic loudspeakers, because the Burmeister integrated amp just really brought the room to life. I thought it sounded fantastic. It looked really aesthetic and clean. It was a super simple design, and yeah, the whole room sounded great. Now these Borisons were easily my favorite bookshelf speakers of the show. They had great clarity, great imaging, replicated the music with a great attention to detail, and sounded huge. You've got to check them out. I also always love checking out the new Magnapans. Unfortunately, I forgot to get footage while they were actually demoing the speaker, but here's a quick shot so you can see what they look like. Easily one of the most unique speakers I saw all weekend was the Baze Audio Corante with AV Luxury Group, and I thought they had fantastic electronics, a fantastic setup here. It was clean.